It felt so strange when I started, yet somehow so right, like it was what I was meant to be doing. It's so weird to think this all started with me stealing makeup out of my mum's room when I was 7. Bright red lipstick, smeared it all around my mouth. Looked ridiculous. I was just curious, like all children are, I guess. I had no clue then how big this would get for me. It all kicked off from there. I kept at the makeup for a couple of years. Eyeshadow, mascara, lots of big tubs of powder and tubes of liquid that I had no clue what they were for or how they were supposed to be used. But nevertheless, they all went on. I just loved the way it felt. The soft makeup brushes caressing my face. The feeling of it all covering me, and the subtle artistry that comes with applying it. I felt like a sculptor, crafting a masterpiece. My curiosity eventually extended to include the clothing, but my mum's clothes were obviously way too big for me, and as an only child I didn't have any sisters to steal from. I was constantly trapped in pairs of rugged jeans and dull shirts, articles of masculinity I just couldn't identify with as much as I would wearing something slightly more glamorous. I still remember the first time I walked into a shop to look at the clothes I so desperately wanted to be wearing, even just for a couple of minutes in the changing rooms. But the idea of potentially being caught out scared me to death. It must have taken about 5 or 6 visits before I plucked up the courage to actually buy something. A red pleated skirt. I felt a nervous sickness in my stomach, like an underage teen trying to buy a bottle of vodka at a supermarket. It was silly, really. Everyone's too busy with their own mundane lives to really care about what clothes I wear. At least that's what I had to try and convince myself. I remember walking over to the counter as casually as I could look, handing over the money with shaky hands, stuffing it into my bag, trying to avoid eye contact with anyone as I left the store, getting to my house and having to hide it from my parents. Bought anything interesting, Andy? Oh, no, nothing much. It felt so exhilarating, and that was before I'd even tried it on. I remember it so vividly, running into my room, sitting down on my bed, heart racing, pulling this beautiful, soft piece of fabric out of my bag and slipping it on. I must have stared at myself in the mirror for about half an hour, not saying a word. It felt strange, yet oddly comfortable. I felt so free, but when it was all over I felt so guilty. Like what I was doing was wrong, like it was sick. What if my dad found out? What if the other kids at school found out? I was 13 at the time. The guilt has melted away slightly since then, but even now I still don't know if I could tell anyone. If you ask me why I do it, I honestly couldn't explain it. I'm still me, but I'm Annie. Different, feminine, attractive. I just love how it feels to escape and be someone else, even for only an hour or two. I just know it makes me happy.